Take me back to the days when things were simple. Riding bikes to the sunset, feeling their warm single. No screens to distract us, just the sound of laughter. Making forts in the backyard, chasing after what came after. Oh, the good old days when we play outside. No Wi-Fi, no worries, just a wild ride. Trading baseball cards, listen to the radio. Life was an adventure, don't you know?
Woo! All right. Welcome to Offline Days, a podcast about the old days, the great days, the 80s and 90s. You know, those days that we think about every now and then and we don't get to think about or we don't get to have because we have all this technology now. That's what this show is about. I don't know. I got my host, or I'm your host, Coley, and then we got our co-host. There we go.
I'm Coley, just kidding. I'm Ryan.
Learning how to talk. And we are on Offline Days. You can find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and then you can listen to us, stream us on Apple and Spotify and YouTube. We have a very special guest with us.
Hi.
Hey.
You like how we did that there? That was a...
I'm Nance Nagel. Yep. Lived back in the 1900s.
Yeah, Nance is a fellow comedian of ours, and man, is she funny. So we are in for a treat today.
Mm-hmm. And where can people find you, Nance?
Yeah, sorry. I have a monthly show that I produce in Morrison, downtown Morrison, which is a little town near Red Rock. About a 3-block long town. Monthly show the second Saturday of every month at 7 p.m. And we will be, it's at Tap on the Rock, shifting to the patio come June. And you can see me all over town doing open mics and shows and anything to get out of the house from my retired husband.
Yeah, that's you gotta get a hobby, right?
No boy.
Well, that's one cool thing about being our age these days. We'll never get to retire, so we're just going to be working forever.
That's the way to look at it.
I know. I like to always come from a glass half empty. I mean, full mindset there. But yeah. So tell us how you got into comedy, and what's been your kind of journey.
Sure. Well, I fell into comedy really through a couple of coincidences happening. One which was I had some physical problems around pain and so was not able to be active as I had been my whole life, and so I was waiting for surgeries, healthcare to kick in, and so I needed something to do, and so I tried Paint Your Pet. And you can only, how many pictures of your cat do you need? So I did a stand-up comedy class and enjoyed it very much. And 4 months later, I was fired from my job. And actually pretty kind of my career, which is a long story, because I ended up being a federal whistleblower. So that got me to stay in comedy. And I love it, and it's so much harder than I thought, and but absolutely, it's it was meant to happen when it happened. So I've been doing it now for a little 2+ years, and I'll keep going as long as I can.
Yeah, it is crazy hard, isn't it? It's amazing how many people try to do it.
Right. I think people, because you think, oh, I'm funny, and because people say you're funny, and you can be funny, but doing stand-up comedy is a whole different thing. I mean, I actually saw something on the internet the other day about how kids kids can be virtuoso musicians or dancers or they cannot be virtuoso stand-up comedians. Kids don't
What?
have right. They try so hard to be funny and they aren't. But stand-up comedy is there's an art to it and a human piece to it that is the piece that I really appreciate.
And you're talking about not being funny when you're growing up. So that was my crutch there. My mom would always laugh at everything that I said. And I just thought that I was just the funniest person in the world. And come to
Uh-huh.
find out, she was just gaslighting me this whole time. She was setting me up for just this massive failure. And
No,
she's laughing right now.
no, I can say as a mother, she did think you were funny. She did.
Oh,
I
you're
think
so kind.
oh, it is. It's nice to
And
have
I'm a mother.
the how many kids?
2 kids in their 20s. Yep. They live around, grew up in the foothills, Conifer area and live locally now around the area. So,
Oh,
uh-huh.
nice.
Is that
So
where you lived as Conifer?
I moved here 30 plus years ago to Conifer. Yep. 10,000
Okay.
feet up there and
I grew.
now live in Morrison. So,
Oh, nice. I grew up in Golden, but in the foothills, kind of by Bergen Park.
oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Like Lookout Mountain area.
Yep. I lived on the Lookout Mountainside. Yeah.
Nice. You were not far from the parties there in high school. That's where everybody went to party, right? Up on Lookout Mountain.
Yeah. Yep.
was it? Oh, that's cool.
I don't there. I want to say probably like 40 or 50 years ago, there was a bar at the top of Lookout Mountain, and it's just this windy road that goes down to Golden. It's just an awful place for a bar, and I know that because I had friends' parents who were like, "Yeah, they served 3-2 beer, and so we could just go up at the age of 18 and just drink 3-2 beer and then drive back down that hill." And I was like, "Oh my god, I don't even like driving that road when I'm sober."
Yeah.
Well,
When I
instead of going to the mountains when I was in high school, so I grew up in central Illinois. In other words, not Chicago. A few hours from Chicago, and we would drive out in the country roads among the cornfields and drink
ooh.
and
Oh,
make out.
nice.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah,
I'm from North Carolina, so we're kind of maybe not cornfields, but just a lot of land where we'd have like keg parties and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So.
Yeah. What so what was your high school experience like? Like walk us through like what that was like, what was happening culturally, everything.
Yeah. Well, in my high school, so high school interest. Here's the interesting thing about high school. There were basically 2 high schools in my town, in my city: the Catholic one and the public one. And I went to BHS, the public one. But all the schools fed in, all the middle schools and stuff, junior highs fed into that high school. So I didn't really go to school with black kids until I was in high school because that's
Mm.
when those schools fed in. And the stories I remember my best friend when I was growing up, she had a sister who was 5 or 6 years older. And so this was, 70s probably. And my friend telling me about, oh, I mean, and this is quote, they would say, the black girls don't wear hoop earrings. The black girls will grab them and tear them out. You tear them out of your ears. I mean, so that stuff was said. Now, did it happen? No,
Right.
it didn't happen. But there was, the thing was, and it wasn't out of hatred. It was out of ignorance.
Right.
Is
Because
what it was.
those can kind of sound like the same thing sometimes,
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and so high school for me though, I because I grew up in my family, like so many families I knew, man, alcohol was a factor. That's what I'll
Oh
say.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. And so I was always good in school. I'm smart enough that I did well in school. But when I got to high school, it was like, who am I, right? You're trying to figure out who you are. And I was just trying to be like you part of everyone. So I, I was good in school. I was in the advanced classes. I was on the tennis team. I was above average in tennis. I was on varsity freshman year and throughout,
Nice.
and I was on the drama team, the speech team, with all the theater kids. And then I was a huge pot smoker,
Good for you,
partier.
Nance. I love it.
Well, as a freshman, I started partying because I was hanging out with the varsity tennis players, and they were
Right.
juniors and seniors. So hanging out with older kids. Uh, so anyway, I kind of did it all. I can't say I was a. This is what I was like in high school. It didn't fit into any of those niches. Each one of those was a different group.
Right.
Uh, and so and kids, what were they into? Here's what's so funny. You guys are all listening to Kansas and Journey. Oh my fucking God, get over it. That's what we were listening to in high school. And you're listening to it. It's not even remixed.
No.
I can't believe it. Now,
I mean,
here's
it's amazing that those songs have made those songs are classic, and they've made it generation through generation through generation.
right, right. There was so much bad music in the 70s. So much bad music.
Was that like
Um,
that was like the era like disco was starting to come out a little bit maybe? Because I feel like I was a fan of like the late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s. You had like a lot of cool soul stuff like Curtis Mayfield and Marvin Gaye and that kind of
Motown.
vibe. Motown,
Motown.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Motown came
Motown.
out. So here's the beautiful. I'll tell you. I went to college in the '80s, and I took a rock and roll class. Just FYI.
Oh,
That's
sick.
what the '80s was like. Rock and roll class in college. So Motown was going on. Uh, I okay. Actually, I forgot about this. So my first concert that I went to was my junior year or sophomore junior year of high school. And I lived in actually it was Bloomington, Illinois. Bloomington Normal. Normal is where Illinois State University is. Um so I grew up close to Normal. But anyway, so there this guy in my physics class
Hmm.
um asked me to go to this concert. And I didn't I really didn't know music much. I just didn't. And so we went to this concert at the field house at the university, and
Uh-huh.
it was 1977, I'd say. And I'm like, I walked out of there and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I saw this band. And if you'd asked me who I saw, I would have said, oh, it's this band, Grateful Day.
You saw the Dead? Dang.
Well, now hold on. So yes, so that's the first time I saw the Grateful Dead. I didn't know who I was seeing. And you know what's weird is I don't remember there being a lot of weed smoking in there. There had to
Oh yeah.
be. And
Yeah.
I smoked a few. But anyway, so the Grateful Day, and so that was 1977. So then between 1984 and 1995, I saw them 50 times.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Oh,
I should have wore my Dead shirt. I'm also a Deadhead myself.
oh, you are.
I do.
Ah,
I never saw Jer Bear, but
yep,
I
Jerry.
yeah, it was I mean, it's either something your brain just plugs into and just you feel it or you don't. I don't know how
Yep.
to explain it.
Right. And I'll say that John Mayer, whatever I think of him personally, holy shit, he has really stepped in, and him and O'Teal, the Dead Now. So
Yes. Do you know that song "My Body Is Your Wonderland" or "Your Body Is My Wonderland"? That he
uh
wrote that about Coley.
yeah. Oh baby. I gotta hear about that, Coley.
Now you're gonna listen to it different.
I'm gonna think about you different.
No,
Oh,
but they were. I saw them a couple times up in Boulder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw them a few times up there, and then obviously Bob just passing is pretty sad. But he was up there and lived many good years. So
Yeah, I actually went out to Vegas and saw him at the Sphere, the Dead Company.
oh man.
cool.
Oh my
Nice.
God. Unbelievable. That experience. You got to check the Sphere out, even if it's not the Dead. It's wild. But Bobby was sounding pretty ragged,
Was
I
it?
gotta say. Yeah, yeah.
It's like Mick
And then,
Jagger.
they were kind of picking up his he'd lose. He couldn't sing. It was at the end of the run too, but
Yeah,
hey, he got
He earned
kicked
it.
out of that band so many times.
Right.
I couldn't think of it's Dead and Company. That's the one
Yeah.
who I saw. I worked Red Rocks probably like I want to say it was like 2001. Oh, and they came and I was working Red Rocks and I was like, this sounds like the Grateful Dead, and they're like, it is. Just
And I feel like Mayer channeled Jerry's playing pretty on point, but
Yep.
it was try to explain like dating to someone back in the day to what you see people do now. Like
That's so funny. So, high school. So I don't know. I can just reflect on my kids' high school dating, which just really didn't happen. I mean, it seems
Yeah.
like dating isn't such a thing now. When I was in high school, oh yeah, it was going. Who were you going with? Or you would always have, if you were in that, group, you would always have a boyfriend or girlfriend. People would always be, connected to somebody. That was the goal.
Where would you meet these people? I mean, for
School.
these young kids
You'd meet
these
at school.
days.
It was school. You would know each other from
Okay.
school. Totally.
Okay.
So my high school was about 2,000 people.
Oh, dang.
My class about 400. So totally meet them at school. Or the other way to meet is, and especially with where I lived, Bloomington, in Normal, there was a high school as well. And so you might meet when you had a sport meet, like
Mhm.
you'd meet somebody from the other team. And so you might connect that way. And yeah,
Nice.
summer leagues and stuff. You would meet people around the Central Illinois, really. So it was through sports activities. And when I was in high school, there was one phone in my house. I have 3 siblings. And
One phone.
you didn't drive. Nobody had a car. You didn't have a
Yeah.
car, and you didn't even ride your bike at night, I guess. So you talked on the phone. So I would tie the phone up for 3 hours talking to a boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah, and I got to tell you this: we had 1 bathroom. Okay, 2 parents, 4 kids, 1 bathroom. And I don't know how it worked, but it did.
Yeah.
Nobody was out pooping in the yard.
Nah.
yeah, you didn't see
Um,
the kitchen sink when you were in the shower for 45 minutes.
well, I can speak for myself. It all worked for me.
Yeah.
So you'd meet. That's how you'd meet. And then in college, shoot, it was about and I went to U of I as an undergrad. They're in the Final Four. Woo!
Whoop, whoop.
We would go out to bars and you'd drink and you'd have one night stands.
I love those.
You guys
Still love
hook up.
those.
Same thing. And so we, like, here's what occurs to me from what I hear about the internet dating, online dating. Skip it. Go out to bars, meet each other, and hook up or not that night. I mean,
That's what I'm doing that now. I just did it last night. Just kidding. But I'm
I mean,
trying.
but I don't know. That's how.
No, I mean, the online dating is just garbage. So you actually have to be able to like interface like in the world, or else you'll just be sitting in mom's basement until she dies, and you didn't even realize it because you're down there, and all of a sudden you just smell something, and it's not the meatloaf.
And your PBJ isn't showing up anymore at your door.
Yeah, right. What happened? Mom, where's my PB&J? This is ridiculous.
Well, and I think that's where you talk about the internet, and the talk about good and evil, right? I mean, as a
Right.
source of information, holy shit, it used to be phenomenal before it got garbagey. But and then the social media garbage. But then on the other hand, the positives of social media, right? But I
Yeah.
think that in terms of, I think that and I, talking to my daughter especially about this, she's been a phone person since 7th grade, right?
Right.
It cripples people socially, really. If you're just on the phone texting, or it's all, or you're just interacting that way, it's not real. It's just not real. And you gotta at some point go out in the real world and be real. So you gotta practice it,
And
right?
someone might talk to you.
Right.
Shoot.
And they might see something, they would see the sparkle in you rather than a crafted response, right?
Yeah.
And it's so hard. I sympathize. And I am so glad that there were no phones and internet when I was drinking. That
Oh my
would have been
God.
awful for me.
Oh.
To have that
Yeah.
on record.
Just like snapping pictures. Like, no,
There's
make sure
there's Ryan passed out in the fucking lawn again.
That would have been me.
There's Ryan trying to drive drunk again. Oh my
all,
God.
all the things you got drawn on your face.
Yeah, like
Oh,
a
man.
dick here, a dick there, a dick everywhere.
Oh man.
We were talking about,
I
remember
think-
our first. Oh, go ahead, Coley. Sorry.
Well, I was just saying, I think there's a fine line. I was just talking about this today, where it's like I have friends who don't even text back. Like they can wait like 3-4 days before they're texting back or they're getting back to me. And then I have people that are constantly posting on Facebook. Like they'll post like 7, 8, 9 times a day, and you're just like, okay, there's got to be a balance of like you got to be a little bit social on social media, but you don't have to be like just word vomit on social media.
I don't know. I kind of came to the conclusion that we each need to decide how and how much we interact with social media, or with I guess even texting, because I had that when texting first started, or I first got into it, I should say. I asked my daughter, I'm like, oh my gosh, should I text back right away? And she said, if you want to set up that expectation, yes.
That makes sense.
And
Yeah.
so I kind of took from it, well, just to be healthy about it, we each need to figure out how it works for us. And these, honestly, with what's happening with AI, with our data, we are commodities. Our data.
Oh yeah.
I am trying to disconnect however I can. I'm not going to log into an account to make a table reservation. I just won't go.
I recently had a physical airline ticket, and I showed it to someone, and they were just like, it's like a younger person. They almost had a mini heart attack.
Yeah. And not being so tied to our phones, like having every ticket on our phone. So I go to a lot of concerts, and I have probably got 6 different tickets. I've got tickets from Access right now, Ticketmaster, Pixar, TickPick, and I'm not exaggerating. It's like, this is insane. And I enjoy getting away from Ticketmaster. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's overwhelming, and it feels we are so tied to it that I do long for those days. I mean, you guys, I'm sure where you're outside, and you couldn't even have a phone to take with you for anyone to find you. And
Mm.
and you're just out there doing. You know what I would do is my mother was not very, you know, she didn't give a shit what I was doing. So I would sit on this concrete post that was next to the street, flush next to the street. And we lived on a busy street. And I would sit on that post and watch cars go by for hours at a time. Now, if I had fallen in the street at the wrong time, I would have been run over.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's more dangerous, my mother or the internet?
I think we could all answer that question or ask that question to ourselves. You know. But yeah,
I
I feel
stared
you.
off at the sky a lot. I stared off and thought about stuff a lot,
Oh,
and it wasn't all,
Well,
yeah.
you're supposed to be bored. That's the whole point. I've been told that if you are bored, that is your brain trying to think of something to do, and that actually shows that you have a higher IQ when you're bored. Because, and so it's like there's a lot of kids that are like, I'm bored, and you're like, good. Like when Violet ever says that she's bored, I'm like, good. Figure out what to do.
Yeah.
Like,
or you just say only boring people get bored.
Oh, that was one. Yes.
that was. Oh, I hated when people told me that.
I actually saw that in film schools, the students don't have the attention span to watch a whole film.
No,
I don't doubt it.
Dang.
I mean,
we were talking. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just wouldn't watch Project Hail Mary, which is like a 2.5 hour movie. And there was a point when I was like looking at my watch going,
yeah,
is it like that? That's a long time.
We
yeah,
are
and that
all
goes back
affected,
to our Blockbuster. We had a Blockbuster episode, and we were talking about the nostalgia of Blockbuster video, and we were just like, well, back then we had a finite amount of choices, right? And now we have infinite choices. So that means you're sitting there like spending way more time looking for something, right? And it's like, oh, if it's not a 9 on the fucking Rotten Tomato meter, then it does not deserve my, whatever. So we didn't have that then. It's just like, if it was a shitty movie, it was a shitty movie.
Yeah, but I've seen movies that were considered shitty by whoever, and it's like, man, that's a gem. So here's my idea. All right, so here's my money making idea, because I'm in retirement, but I don't have enough money. So you guys can help me here.
Let's all make money. I like it.
You guys can help me out. So we are going old school porn, my guys. Old school porn. So,
Ryan, how do we talk about porn in every freaking episode?
Yeah, we do. I love it.
For like the last 4 episodes.
But, okay, so tell me if someone already has this idea then.
All right, okay.
So, old school porn. So now there are certain states you go in and you have to do age verification. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's true because comics talk about it. And and I think some states totally ban porn. I don't know. But there's going to be age verification nationwide soon. I hate to tell you, but there is. So who wants their partner, to know how many times they are accessing porn? Nobody, probably, right? So you need an alternative. DVD player, porn DVDs. Not connection to the internet. No connection to the internet. You just got the DVD player, old school porn.
And I'm talking like none of the kinks they have these days. This is like 1980s porn, where it's just like it's just basic. You're not banging horses and kind of doing all kinds of other things that are going on.
Ma'am, I'm here to deliver your pizzas.
Right. Yeah. That was the 80s porn. Oh, yeah.
Boom, boom. I hope you can deliver more than that, honey.
It's kind of like the. Go ahead, Cole.
I got a way that we can add to we can make more money for this idea. So instead of DVD players, we're gonna go old school VHS. And because I think we're going to make more money, because so many people are not going to figure out how to rewind it, or it's going to get stuck in there. And so they're going to have to come buy every time they're going to have to buy a new tape, or they're going to have to buy a new VHS player.
All right. So can VHS? But okay. So you have to have. So with the VHS, you're going to have a non-web enabled TV to plug it into because it's key that it's not connected to the internet, right?
Yeah.
In any way. So but I know there's a market for VHS players and tapes because I donated one to a thrift store. They were like, "Hell yeah!"
Hell yeah.
So
Or what
hey,
if
we
you
have
even
multiple formats available.
rewind it back even more? We're just gonna listen to porn on a vinyl. How about that? On the radio.
All right. Yeah.
And
1-900 numbers.
in the brick and mortar, we're gonna if we ever kind of go back to the stores, we're gonna just call it Cockbuster.
I knew I was pitching a business idea to the right people.
What about Cock Blockbuster?
Oh God. Ooh, yeah. That's nah. Should we go through some of these questions?
Should we play
here,
our
caller?
game? We'll play a game and kind of finish her up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Do you have it open?
I got it open. So remember, this is a 80s Would You Rather. And it's the hardest game of Would You Rather.
All right.
Ever.
It's so hard. Okay. Would you rather go to a job interview dressed as He-Man or dressed as Michael Jackson from the Thriller video?
He-Man, because dressing up as a black person would be racist.
It would be. You're not able to do that now. True that. True that.
I don't think you're doing blackface. I think you're just dressing up like him.
The clothes. Oh, I'll take Michael Jackson's clothes. Oh yeah.
You're not Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder, right?
No. They slid that one in just in time.
They did. That was like about 2 or 3 years, 4 years. That was okay. All right, we'll move to the second one. All right, and would you rather live in a house full of gremlins for the rest of your life, or in a mushroom-shaped house like the Smurfs?
Oh well, a mushroom-shaped house like the Smurfs.
Are we the size of the Smurfs, or is it a giant mushroom?
Oh, yeah, it depends on how many mushrooms you've eaten.
I don't know if I want to live with gremlins. I don't know if I want to live with gremlins. I mean, I guess if you don't get them wet and you don't feed them after midnight, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know what? When I was in college, I lived in an apartment with cockroaches for a year, and it is amazing what you get used to living with. I gotta tell you.
Did they help with rent, or were they just there solo? Or?
God, they just kept me company.
Could you imagine if they help with rent? That would make so much money. There's so many of them.
Oh my God. Insane.
All right. Would you rather be stuck in detention in the Breakfast Club?
With the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, with the Breakfast Club, yeah. Or would you have no one remember your birthday like 16 Candles? I just watched 16 Candles. Not again. I just recently watched it again.
Would I rather hang with in detention with the Breakfast Club people, or that someone forget my birthday?
Yeah. Or have no one remember your birthday like in 16 Candles.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, gosh, that's, taking the short view, of course, see, when we saw Breakfast Club, it was like in college, and we thought they were so cool. We thought they were cool. Now, it turns out, maybe not. And then forgetting the birthday, it's like, oh, that sounds horrible. But then, she ends up with a really hot guy in a great car.
You're right.
And there are some scenes there from Breakfast Club they could not make these days either with the, the guy on the bike. But so I would say, hell yeah, forget my birthday. It's a pretty random thing anyway. So yeah, forget my birthday, and then in the
Get the
long
hot
run,
guy.
get
Who was
the
your
hot guy.
favorite? Who was your favorite
Yeah.
character in the Breakfast Club, or actress?
Oh, Ali Sheedy,
Okay.
the weird
Classic.
one.
Yeah.
I liked Emilio Estevez, but
Were
I
you
don't
a
know. He was
jock in
kind
high
of
school?
no, I wasn't. He was kind of a douche. But I still like. I don't know. Maybe I just like. I liked Emilio Estevez as an actor. Maybe that's why I just kind of. And he was like he played that role pretty well.
Well, but then he got redeemed, right? He turned out to be a nice guy.
Totally,
He
absolutely.
turned out not to be Charlie Sheen, so that's good, right? God, did you guys see that documentary? Holy fuck!
On Charlie Sheen? No.
Oh my
I haven't
God.
seen it yet. No,
That
good.
dude lived like not 9 lives, like 900 lives, and somehow survived. Like there was one story where he was talking about he was flying on like an international trip on an airplane, and like he was really fucked up, and then he got up there with the pilot, and the pilot was trying to like be nice to him. He's like, "You can just drive this plane for a while." He's just like hammered as hell, probably coked up, just over the Atlantic Ocean, just
Oh God. Oh man.
Him and Nick Cage used to get after it too, which I thought I'm a big Nick Cage fan. All right, let's go.
It's surprising more of those '80s kids didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what I think it is. I think they didn't have all, they were doing stuff that was killing them, but they didn't have all this other information telling them they were also going to die, like we have today. So it's like
no, there was no dare in the 80s.
No, I mean, you get a cough these days, you Google it, and all of a sudden you're casket shopping in like 15 minutes. So it's like,
right.
Good Lord. Okay, so would you rather only be able to eat Lunchables for the rest of your life, or Chicken McNuggets?
Oh God, man, that is. Let's see, processed food versus processed food.
But it wasn't
Lunchable.
wasn't as processed back in the 80s. Remember we had this conversation, Coley, like the 80s and 90s. It was like
they
McDonald's
didn't process the food
tasted
as
a
much.
little bit better.
That's actually, yeah. I will go with. I will for sure go with the Lunchable, because you got some. It's less processed. You're right, and you can. You can pick around whatever. Eat the cheese, but those chicken McNuggets. I think, like at one point, they showed that they had like no chicken in them.
Yep. It was gross.
Oh, yeah, and the veins and all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, it was
20
bad.
years ago. It was filler, almost like all filler.
Yeah, I can't.
Just for the record, for our younger listeners, these Lunchables were ham and cheese and crackers, and that's it. It wasn't any of this pizza shit and Reese's candy,
brownies with a Capri Sun in there, some shit like that. Yeah, basic. Like, and speaking of that, like, think about when you were in like middle school or high school, like the cafeteria food. I mean, oof, that was something special.
I mean, it hasn't got much better.
Has it not? Okay, I guess you work at a school, so.
Well, we lunches were like 60 cents for hot lunch, and but we brought sack lunch. My parents were not going to pay for lunch, so yeah. I mean, people, that was a difference too. Growing up, I mean, you just didn't have the material stuff; just wasn't there. It wasn't all around you. The way that it is here, or that it kind of is now, because it's in our face all the time. And
it's like you got to buy something, you got to do this, you got to do that. I feel like you didn't feel like you just needed like all this stuff back then. So even if you were fucking poor or not doing well, you probably didn't feel nearly as bad because you weren't comparing it to everyone or seeing all this other stuff that people have.
Everybody was about the same, and it was that side of town, but it wasn't crazy. Like, I would circle 40 things in the Sears catalog, but I'd get
Mm.
like 4, which is even a lot. But the thing around material things, and like this, the idea of my daughter when she was 13 having a $700 phone. I'm like, are you kidding me? What
Yeah.
are we paying for a 13-year-old? Um, so it just, yeah, it was just a more, it's just, yeah, the focus. And, capitalism was in its early stages. We are
It
much
really
later
was.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of kids, Nance, might not know what a Sears catalog is. So I don't know if you want to kind of unpack that a little
My God.
bit.
I do, because it was special. You would wait for the Sears. You would wait
It
for
was
the
so
Sears
good.
catalog to come in the mail. And the Sears catalog was like, oh my God, like 2 or 3 inches thick. And the
Mm,
shiny glossy, and it was a square spine. And you would go through, there was a table of contents for, the different things, whatever you were looking at. And, you'd go to the furniture, because you always looked in the finish on the walls for the boobs. You could find boobs in the finish in the Sears
nice.
catalog. For sure, my brothers could.
Lingerie too. It was like one
But,
of the
well,
first
Ooh.
there was
porns. If
one.
you think.
But then the toys, there was, pages of toys. And since there were 4 kids in my family, you'd put your initials by what you wanted. And then it wasn't ordered. You went to the store. You couldn't order
Mm.
things to get delivered. That's
Oh,
not
you
what
mean
we were doing.
Amazon wouldn't deliver it to you back then? Good Lord.
Jeff Bezos was just a sparkle in his fucking evil parents' eyes.
And Sparkle and fucking Bezos. I try to make it
Uh,
I try to make it a mission every time I go into Whole Foods to just steal something, just because
Hey,
just to,
yeah. I think, I saw some movement in the UK where these people marched into one of their grocery stores and with boxes, and it said, "We are liberating this food for people who need it." And they loaded
right.
up boxes of food and walked out. Just walked out of the store. Nobody
funny.
stopped them. And it's like, at what point are we need to be doing something like that? Because,
Well,
man, it's
we're gonna
crazy.
live stream Coley doing that next week.
Nice.
We get to choose. The listeners get to choose. Is it Safeway, King Supers, or Whole Foods?
Who do you want to go to jail, Ryan or Coley?
Oh man. Well, this was super fun. I think, it's crazy that there's been like 4 episodes that we've talked about porn. So thanks, Nance. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored that you asked me, and I hope that we've entertained and
Oh,
educated and done good.
if anything, you've entertained and educated me. So we
And me.
right there. And Ryan too. We're at that
Right.
part where, yeah, right. We're there. We're there.
We're dropping crumbs from the past, because these kids they need like a little crumb kind of leading them to like out of where they are now. So that's kind of
Yeah.
what the idea of this podcast, just to give some people a little idea of, because I feel like kids these days are also getting tired of technology quickly too. So it's like there's going to be some
They
like
are.
backlash where it like we go back to like the caveman days. It'll be like a complete 180 or 360.
Well, yep.
Ryan's new money making activities is he's going to print out all of the Amazon pages, and that's
Mhm.
going to be the new Sears catalog.
I love it. I love it.
And
You
he's
guys
just
are
door to
awesome.
door. He's just going to go deliver it door to door.
I'm gonna sell it door to door, and for for 75 cents, a book.
Here's the internet right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks again, Nance. We appreciate it. And where, if you want to plug yourself one more time, where people can find you.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Nance Nagel Comedy, producing a monthly show in Morrison, and Instagram is the best place to find me. I'm also on Facebook posting shows, and of course, next door.
Yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
And we're at Offline Daze, DAZE, like Dazed and Confused. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all the stuff. So
MySpace, OnlyFans.
yeah.
Don't forget, Ryan. We have our contest for the to get 1,000 subscribers. We're giving away two $50 gift cards, Visa gift cards. So you can repay your Blockbuster late fees if you need to, if you haven't had a chance to do that. So we will make that drawing when we hit our first 1,000 subscribers. I think we're pretty, like right now we're like a tenth of the way there, so we're doing all right.
Yeah, slowly but surely. All right.
Nice.
All right. Well, y'all have a good rest of your evening. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
All right. Good night.
Night,
See ya.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.